Hello and welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell, Youth Services Director at the B.B. Comer Memorial Library. I want to take a moment right now to thank TV 47 for allowing the library to showcase our activities and programs and things related to the library. So we thank them very much for allowing us to do that in our area. Today we're going to be talking about an event coming up in October. It's Little Shop of Horrors with Sylacauga Community Playhouse, and I have Michelle Watson and Michael Giddens are joining me here today. Thank you so much for coming. Great, great. You guys are in Little Shop of Horrors, and I'm so excited. I haven't bought my tickets yet, but I'm going to. Before we get into the actual program, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Michelle, tell me about yourself.
Okay, well, normally I work for Harold Orthodontics. I'm a dental assistant.
Oh.
So, and I'm from Sylacauga. My parents are Barbara and Scott Coleman. Some people may know them.
Yeah.
And do some photography on the side, and just this is a fun little hobby I got myself into. So.
Well, you're very busy if you have a couple of jobs there and then.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. That's great. Michael, tell us about yourself.
Well, I graduated from Auburn about a year ago. I'm currently looking for a job, but I went to school to be a sports broadcaster, so that's what I want to do. But I enjoy doing this as well.
Good.
And my mother, of course, Janie Giddens,
yes.
She's on the board of directors with the Playhouse, and she's also our music director for this play. So.
Okay. Good. Well, maybe sports broadcasting is like performing a little bit, isn't it? Yeah. And War Eagle, hey.
War Eagle,
I'm an Auburn graduate myself. Yeah, so I had to throw that in there. Yeah. Well, I'm very excited. Before we get talking more about the program, tell us when Little Shop of Horrors is going to be. When is it going to be? When is the performance?
It's October the 20th is opening night. Friday night we'll perform that weekend. Friday through Sunday, and then we'll also perform the next weekend, 27th through the 29th.
Okay.
Friday and Saturday nights are at
6:30.
And Sundays are at 2 p.m.
Okay, that's great. I like the way the Playhouse does it. I've been to several of your performances. You'll have it 2 weekends because sometimes people are busy one weekend, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. So surely there's a time when people can
The second weekend, that Saturday, is on off week for both Auburn and Alabama.
Oh,
so
good planning.
No one in the state has an excuse to not come see Little Shop of Horrors.
Well, that's good planning. Good planning, I know. Now, if I buy tickets, do I buy a ticket for a particular night or for a weekend? I know they've done.
For the weekend.
For the weekend.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great too. Okay, good. Well, great. Well, tell me a little bit about Little Shop of Horrors. I know a little bit, Feed Me Seymour, I can remember that line. And I've seen the movie, I think, but it's been a while. So one of y'all tell us a little, kind of what the storyline is.
It's about this little flower shop on Skid Row, and the character Seymour, who works there, is an exotic plant enthusiast, and
that's you, Michael.
Yes,
Seymour. Okay.
He decides to purchase a plant on the day that there is a solar eclipse, and then a lot of weird things start happening. So.
Oh, well, that's timely with the eclipse not too long ago. Well, how neat.
And first there was a 1950s movie, and then they had this play, and then they had a remake of the play in the 1980s. But the key here is the play has a kind of a different story than the movies.
Yes, if you've seen the movie, you have not seen the play.
Exactly.
So.
Oh, okay. Well, you probably don't want to give it away there. Oh, how neat. No. So you play Seymour, Michael, and Michelle. What is your part?
Audrey. Play Audrey.
Audrey, and
yes,
who is
ma'am.
Audrey in there?
She is one of the workers in the flower shop, and she's really a girly character, and she kind of lives in her own little world. She dreams of getting out of Skid Row and being a housewife and living in her perfect little greenhouse, so.
How fun.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. That's great. Well, we talked about the characters you play. You had to try out for this, right? There were auditions back, I forgot when.
In August.
Late August.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you have to do to get ready for an audition? And what do you have to do at the audition?
We had to prepare 2 different songs, one a cappella and one with a track.
Okay.
And We also had to read. We could prepare dialogue, or we could be given an opportunity to read parts within the play. Okay. And we also had callbacks for this particular production. So we had to audition multiple rounds.
So that means a lot of people were auditioning, or a few.
We had a decent amount show up, and it was to reassure who should be what part.
Right. Well, that's exciting. Community Playhouse is I'm so glad they're back, because I've enjoyed the productions, and I've known students who've been involved in it that it's really made a difference, I think, in their lives. I've watched them come out more and be more, outgoing, or I don't know if that's the right word or not, but when you're performing on stage, I guess you can be a different person. And now there's a lot of on stage, I'm sure. We're going to get into the puppets in a little bit, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes too. What kind of things? I know you said your mom is the musical.
We have a regular director, which is Patrick McDonald, and then my mother, Janie Giddens, is the musical director. Okay. But we have many things that have to be done: props, lighting and sound, just backstage hands that kind of either can feed you lines if you were to forget lines, or just make sure everybody's on the same page, doing the same thing, moving set pieces on and off. There's a lot of moving parts. The last two productions, I helped with in the booth with sound.
Oh, okay.
So I understand that it takes a lot of people behind the scenes to make these things run smoothly.
Sound and music is very important. This has music in it. It's a musical.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it great?
Musical comedy.
A musical comedy. Well, that's great. I can't wait. Now, what do you have right here?
This is Audrey 2. Now, there are 4 different versions of Audrey 2. Mm-hmm. This is the first version and the most manageable for one person.
Yeah. We talked about bringing some.
But this will be the first appearance that you see from Audrey 2 in this form.
You must be Audrey 1.
Well, Audrey 2 is named after Audrey 1 because Seymour's a very clever individual that comes up with many different names for people. Okay. And so pretty easily controlled. I can fit my hand in there, and he's got a tongue.
Oh, I love it.
So he's an interesting little guy. But there's 4 different versions, like I said, and I can also control the second version of him. Okay. He's a lot larger in a pot, but I can still make it work. But the 3rd and 4th versions require much more than just a hand to maneuver. The 3rd will take one full person puppeteer to fit inside the plant, and the 4th version will take either 4 or 5 people to manage. It is. I don't know the exact dimensions, but it is a huge plant. Wow. It is impressive.
Well, that'll be fun to see. We're going to take a quick commercial break and come back and talk a little bit more about these puppets and about the production of Little Shop of Horrors.
Hi, it's Shawnee McNeil at South First Bank. This is a great time for you to buy or build a new home, or maybe refinance your present mortgage. Our rates are the lowest they've been in years, and that means saving you money. We've been helping our customers become homeowners in this area for nearly 70 years, and we can make our approvals right here in the office, and that means saving you time. We're located here in downtown Sylacauga. Come in and find South First, a better way to bank.
Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by today and see us. Marble City Pharmacy, where your health comes first.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Hello and welcome back to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell. I'm talking with Michelle Watson and Michael Giddens. They are two of the stars of Little Shop of Horrors, which is a production put on by Sylacauga Community Playhouse. And I want to also, again, plug the dates and the times and things. It's the weekend of October 20th through 22nd and the weekend of the 27th through the 29th. It's 6:30 on Friday and Saturday, 2 o'clock on Sunday. And you can get tickets at www.scplayhouse.com, is that correct? Or you can call the number 256-369-3003. You can get them at the Maxie Veazey Senior Center or the Sylacauga Chamber of Commerce or from any cast member. Great, great. Well, I am so excited about this. We were talking about the puppets. This is what I think will be fun. Is this the first time Playhouse has used puppets? I mean, in recent years, I think.
Yes,
so this is, you said, the first plant?
This is the first version of Audrey 2.
Right.
She'll kind of transform throughout the show.
Because she grows.
Yeah.
This is the exotic plant that Seymour has bought.
Yes.
During the solar eclipse, and strange things happen. Now, she talks. Does she sing or does she does? All right. Who is the voice?
The voice of Audrey 2 is Sean McDonald.
Okay, Sean. He has a great voice.
Seen any shows recently? He was Jafar in the summer production of Aladdin, and he was Linus in Charlie Brown.
Okay, okay. You were in Charlie Brown also. Who were you?
I was Schroeder, the Beethoven enthusiast.
That's right, that's right. Fun. I enjoyed that one. I've enjoyed them all. That was one of my favorites. It was a lot of fun. So the puppets now, do you actually, this is the first one.
This is the first one.
Do you work this one?
I don't really, I'll hold them in a pot, but I won't really do much. There'll be somebody under a table controlling this one. I'll control the second one.
Okay.
I'll be wearing a coat without it, my arm not in the sleeve, but instead outside it in a large pot. And it's a much bigger version. So.
Okay.
But it's still manageable with one hand.
But you don't have to be a ventriloquist here. No. Good. Well, that's neat. And then you said the third one requires a whole person, and the fourth one, 4 or 5 people. I guess you've got hands and head and leaves. I don't know. That is neat. Tell me where you got these. You didn't make them? No. Okay.
We bought them from a playhouse in Florida.
Okay.
And we're probably going to sell them after the production. But
that's all right.
For now.
That's a great way to share. You must have like a network of other community playhouses. Y'all can. It's like sharing. You're going to buy them, but then you're going to sell them to somebody else. That's great. I think these are fun. Now, who will be training y'all as to how to use puppets? I know that sounds crazy, but I worked with puppets at church when I was younger, which is not a big deal, but it's harder than it looks. To me, it's harder. So who's going to be giving y'all some pointers on that?
Mr. Dan Nixon is going to come in. He works with puppets a lot and actually makes them himself. So, he's going to come in and give everybody some pointers on how to control them, how we're supposed to work with them, and to make it look realistic. And so
I hadn't thought about that because you're talking to a puppet.
Exactly.
And singing with or whatever talking to a puppet is. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And whoever's working it has to look at you if they're talking to you. I'm doing my puppet thing here. That's neat. A lot of people like puppets, and I was looking at the library. We had some books on make your own performing puppets, rainy day puppets, whether they're just sock puppets with children, that's okay, or making big, beautiful puppets like this. Now, I don't know that I could ever make anything like that, but great to get your kids or even adults involved in doing something like that, because maybe you'll do another production with puppets, and there you go, something you can help with. That's great. That's great. Now, you guys had a song, I believe. You sing, it's a musical. You sing together?
Yes, ma'am.
On a song, okay. I was wondering if I could get you guys to sing a little bit or sing the song for us.
Okay, yes,
great, great.
Lift up your head, wash off that mascara. Here, take my Kleenex, wipe that lipstick away. Show me your face, clean as the morning. I know things were bad, but now they're okay. Suddenly Seymour
is standing beside you. You don't need no makeup, don't have to pretend. Suddenly Seymour is here to provide you sweet understanding. Seymour's your friend.
Nobody ever treated me kindly. Daddy left early. Mama was poor. I'd be the man and I'd follow him blindly. He'd snap his fingers, me. I'd say sure. Suddenly Seymour is standing beside me. He don't give me orders. He don't understand. Suddenly Seymour is here to provide me sweet understanding. Seymour's my
Tell me this feeling lasts till forever. Tell me the bad times are clean washed away.
Please understand that it's so strange and frightening. Bruises like I've been, it's so hard to say. Suddenly Seymour,
Seymour,
he purified me. Suddenly Seymour, surely I learn how to be more the girl that's inside me.
with sweet understanding, with sweet understanding, with sweet understanding. Seymour's your man.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That is wonderful.
Thank you.
I have to tell you, I'm impressed that you know all the words this far in advance. That's great. You must have practiced quite a bit. Michael, I know your mom has probably had you practice some. I'm a mom too. I can relate to that. Michelle, how do you find time to make time?
I work in Ellick City and live in Dadeville, so driving back and forth to Sylacauga, I sing in my car.
Oh, well, great. Well, that's perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate y'all singing here. I know this is, when you're sitting and it's not the ideal place, but you did a great job, and I can't wait to see the actual production. We're going to cut to another commercial break, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more with Michael and Michelle about Little Shop of Horrors.
Looking for a great pre-owned car or truck? Come visit the Collins family at Stop and Shop Auto Sales. Owned and operated by Bobby and Anderson since 1996, and now with the newest member of the team, George Collins. We specialize in quality trucks from Ford and Chevy, and also carry a variety of dependable cars and SUVs. All of our vehicles are professionally serviced and checked for safety and reliability. So come see us today in Sylacauga at 230 West 1st Street, or call 256-249-0322.
In Alabama, there are two things we take serious: football and barbecue. And at August Barbecue, we take our business serious. Our meat is smoked daily to give you the freshest and best quality. Ask about our daily vegetable specials. And don't forget about our beef brisket, served up every Thursday and Friday. We have a great outdoor seating area to enjoy the best live music around every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Great service, great atmosphere, and great food. August Barbecue. You can taste the difference.
CallTheShield.com is the solution to pest and termite problems. APS shields your home from termite infestation, unwanted pests, mold and water intrusion, sagging floors, and unhealthy lawns. Visit calltheshield.com to schedule your free evaluation. That's calltheshield.com to schedule your free evaluation. Alabama Professional Services, protection for your home.
Hello and welcome back to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell. I'm talking with Michelle Watson and Michael Giddens. They're in the upcoming production of Sylacauga Community Playhouse Little Shop of Horrors. That's what we've been talking about, and they just sang a duet. It was beautiful, beautiful. Do y'all? I know you practice separately, but you have to get together and practice. So y'all are ongoing. I mean, having practice right now.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sure you will more as it draws closer. It draws closer. And just before we finish, we're going to talk again about how to get tickets. But now, Michelle, this is your first production with Community Playhouse, isn't it?
It is, yes ma'am. I've been involved since they started back in 2015, I believe it was. Okay. I do pictures for them, headshots, take pictures of the play and everything. Yes. And my aunt is actually on the board, Sherry Vickers.
Yes,
and so I've been wanting to be in a play since they started back. I live in Dadeville, so living an hour away, it makes it a little hard, but I found time for this one. When I heard they were doing Little Shop of Horrors, I was like, I have to try out for this one. I don't even care what part I get, I just want to be in this play. So,
wow.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun. It's been a blast, too.
That is fun.
Yes, ma'am.
So is this the first time you've been on stage, or have you done other things outside of community?
This is pretty much the first time. I've done a couple of things, talent shows in high school and stuff, but nothing big like this.
That's
so,
right. Well,
yes,
this is
ma'am.
fun. Now, Michael, I know you've been acting and singing for most of your life, right? What kind of things have you done?
Well, with the Community Playhouse, this is only my second on-stage appearance. Okay. I was in Charlotte Brown as Schroeder, like we mentioned. The last two shows, Miracle Worker and Aladdin, I helped in the booth. I did mics for Miracle Worker, and I ran sound, the music for Aladdin. Okay. But in high school, I had multiple roles. I was Scrooge in A Christmas Carol.
I remember that.
I in our crazy Alice in Wonderland productions where we added all kinds of different characters in. I was Shrek one year.
Oh, wow.
Shrek and Alice in Wonderland. So that was fun. I was a Chip when we did Beauty and the Beast when I was a little kid. Yes. I was a Munchkin in Wizard of Oz. There's so many different roles.
How fun.
Young Simba, I think, in Lion King.
Oh, wow. That goes back a little ways. If you were a Munchkin, that goes back a little ways because you're not a 4-year-old.
Not a Munchkin anymore.
Oh no, that's neat though. That's fun that you're continuing to do that. Now in this production, there's all ages. I mean, not little bitty ones, I guess. I'm assuming that a lot of different actors.
Yes, ma'am. There's high school students all the way to adults, so there's a bigger range of who's in this one. So.
Yes, on stage and backstage.
Backstage, yes, ma'am.
I know we talked about lights and sound and makeup and hair and those kind of things.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot more to it than probably most of us realize, I think. So, let's see, I'm trying to think. I know we were talking about the puppets. You said Dan Nixon is going to train you on that. I think that's very neat. That's a smaller that's the smallest version right there. And Seymour is the plant who grows bigger. I mean, not Seymour. Audrey is the plant that grows bigger and bigger. So, those people are having some training from Dan coming up, who is a master puppet maker, puppeteer, and who came and kind of revived Community Playhouse, I believe, this time. So I'm really excited. I like Dan. He's been on our show before to promote that. Well, I know you talked about practicing on the way to and from work. And
yes, ma'am.
How do you find time to memorize lines, or does somebody help you, or... talk about that.
I'm a self-admitted awful line memorizer. So what I find most helpful is to run lines with other cast members.
Okay.
Try to just as many repetitions as possible, so you don't really think about it anymore. It just becomes second nature to say those things over and over.
Right.
That's what I find most helpful, but I think everybody's different.
That's true, everybody. does what helps them. How about you?
Same thing, running lines with anybody that will do it with me, and just looking over them. When I get breaks at work, I'll look over my book, you know, in little parts, and it seems if I look over it throughout the day, it sticks a little bit better.
That's true. That's a good idea. Because you have a little bit of break between patients, I guess.
Yes, ma'am.
How fun. Now, we were talking about the music, too. I know you have to practice your music, and I know you do on your drive, and you do at home or different in the car, different places. That's one thing about singing. I guess you can practice it in the car. Not that you're singing your best, but you're learning the words and learning the tune.
You won't get pulled over for singing and driving.
That's true. I love that. Now, what type of music is in this program? 60s?
Motownish. It's got a lot of the songs have a backup trio. We call them the doo-wop girls.
Oh, wonderful.
And they're throwing in a lot of Motownish harmony throughout. Okay. So it's got some slow songs. It's got some really fast songs that we're still struggling with.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got a good mixture, I think.
Good. 1960s Motown is one of my favorites that I like, I think. So that'll be fun to see. Are there any dance parts? I mean, not just choreographed?
Yes,
luckily, they haven't given me too much dance parts. So.
Who is your choreographer? Or
Our choreographer is Toria Parrish.
Oh, yes, I know. She's a student.
Yes,
and has been taking dance for several years, I think.
Yes, ma'am. She's doing a great job.
Yeah, this is her first time doing, I think, any sort of choreography for production.
I think that is so nice to use somebody with some talent in that area and young, but maybe she'll want to do that later on. I don't know. Who knows? But it's great to give the students some experience in that area. I think that's wonderful. And I want to tell one more time where to get your tickets. It's Sylacauga Community Playhouse production of Little Shop of Horrors. The shows are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, October 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And then again, 27th, 28th, and 29th. Where is it? It's at...
It's at B.B. Comer.
B.B. Comer. I know y'all swap up. Sometimes it's at Sylacauga and sometimes it's Comer. They have a beautiful auditorium, though. Great. So that'll be nice. It's at B.B. Comer Auditorium, the school. You can get your tickets at scplayhouse.com. And I've ordered tickets there. It's very simple. Great website. You can see that. Or you can get them at the Maxie Veazey Senior Center or the Chamber of Commerce here in Sylacauga. And I would encourage you to buy your tickets. You buy a ticket for the weekend. Maybe, you don't know if you can go Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but you buy your ticket for the weekend, and that's just a lot of fun. How much are the tickets?
They're $15 right now, and I believe the 18th they will go up to $18.
That's right.
So if you want to pre-order your tickets and go ahead and get them a little bit cheaper.
Yeah,
so.
I'm all about saving some money, so that's great. But so you can get them at these places or from any cast member. But thank you so much for joining me today, Michelle Watson and Michael Giddens, and I hope you will come to B.B. Comer High School and see them in the Sylacauga Community Playhouse production of Little Shop of Horrors. It's going to be wonderful. I enjoyed hearing your duet today, and I know it'll be a treat to hear a little bit more of that. Thank you.